Hey everyone, it is August the 12th, but I don't know when I'm going to get this video uploaded because my computer with my video editing software and everything, the screen died. That was my laptop. So I'm in the process of trying to find a new laptop. I thought I had one from eBay, and it was a really great deal. And the picture showed it working, and the description showed that it had Windows 10. And it got here, and quite frankly, it wasn't packed very well. And I couldn't get Windows to pop up. Couldn't get past a little MS-DOS screen that says, you don't have Windows installed and you don't have a hard drive. So I went back, and I'm waiting to be, well, I got reimbursed for that money, but it was on PayPal credit, so I'm waiting for that to re-hit my system before I try to purchase another one. And the guy was like so helpful, trying to help me figure out what was wrong. And I mean, as soon as I put it back in the mail and he had the tracking number, he refunded me before he even got it back. So, you know, it wasn't like he was trying to cheat me or anything. I just think it was kind of packed poorly, and it got jostled, and something got misaligned, and now it's not thinking that it has what it should have. So he was like, don't worry, I'll get it up and running again. But in the meantime, I'm moving on, but I don't have a computer to upload it. Now, I know Linda Just a Crochet Sister said, I'll just take your iPhone and do one, but for me, that of course doesn't give me any ability to edit, and plus I have an iPhone 6, and yeah, I just don't want to do it on an iPhone 6. So I'm working on a 10-year-old laptop right now that has no editing software or anything on it. It's slow as molasses. So that's that. So I don't know when this will probably get uploaded in a couple weeks. In the meantime, I wanted to tell you about the fact that I went I went to a middle of the country state, and to celebrate my mother's 90th birthday. So to begin with, I flew Southwest coming and going, and had a layover each way. So the first layover was in Las Vegas, and I should tell you, when we got on the plane, I got on the plane in Burbank, and the flight attendants read us the riot act. A riot act. So I was, that's okay, fine. There were no problems on the flight, except I was so thirsty, and they said they were going to bring some refreshments by, but they never did. So then I get to Las Vegas, and I don't know if you've ever changed planes in Las Vegas or been in that airport, but I'm walking kind of slow right now. My foot is pretty much healed, but I'm still walking pretty slowly. So I see us taxiing up to our gate. I know I have to get down to gate number C7, and we are in gate C25, and I don't know how technically long it is, but let me tell you, I started that walk down there, and of course everybody's passing me, and I'm like, that's fine. Get to C21, and I feel like I've already walked a mile, because it's just, those terminals are so long, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'll never get to C7. But I finally did. But if you ever have to go through McLaren, which is the airport in Vegas, if you land on C, well, you have to be, I guess, flying Southwest, but if you land on the C terminal, when you get to number 14, there is a shortcut, which I didn't realize until I got to number 7. Yeah, there's a shortcut. So, just so you know, there's a shortcut. Anyway, so then had a little bit of a layover and got on the next leg of the flight. And I should tell you, I don't mind that I have layovers. I don't mind that it's not direct flights, because I fly so rarely that it was like I had to take 4 airplane trips. And so I love flying. But they kept saying, keep the windows closed because we're trying to keep the airline cool. And I was like, well, that's no good having a window seat if you have to keep the windows closed. So anyways, I got in the second leg of the flight, and again, no beverage was served, although they kept saying they were going to. So by the time I reached my final destination, I was parched. And my youngest sister was supposed to pick me up. And I had been texting her, and I said, please bring a bottle of water with you. So she's like, no problem. And then when I land, she says, oh, her brother is picking me up. So I still had no water. So finally I got to my mom's house, and I was like, oh, give me the water. I was just so parched. And so the state that I was in, I asked my brother, because I knew we were going out to eat at least once, you know, what's the deal with the face diapers in that state? He said, well, if you have had the jab, you don't have to wear one. And as it turned out, nobody in the state was wearing them. One restaurant I went into saw 2 kids wearing them, but the servers weren't wearing them. It was so lovely. Nobody was really wearing one, and people were just going about their lives normally. It was lovely. And then, of course, later on I had to return to the communist state of California. So anyways, okay, so I arrived on a Thursday, and the next night we, the family all gathered at my brother's house, and he, I assume, had borrowed 4 tables from his church and set them up, and so we had 15 people sitting around the table, and all my siblings were there, and of course my mother was there, and that was really our birthday celebration for her, although it was a day early. And it was just lovely. I mean, it was kind of this smorgasbord of food. Everybody brought something, so that, like, it wasn't my brother and his wife preparing everything. Yeah, everybody brought something. And the one thing that I remember really well, and my little sister kept saying, oh, this is spicy, I'm just warning you, it's spicy. Well, I don't consider horseradish spicy, not in the way that, say, a jalapeno is spicy. But she had made these, like, kind of like half baguette, just like, you know, sliced in half, and just, they were maybe 4 or 5 inches long, and it just had the half, and she had shredded roast beef and horseradish on there, and some cheese melted on the top. Oh, that was, I could have made a whole meal out of just those. I mean, it was great. So then on Saturday, which was her actual birthday, we went out to a place called Kneaders, and Kneaders is spelled Kneaders, which I will put up on the screen if I have editing software. Anyways, you might have a Kneaders in your state. We don't have them out here in California. They are a bakery cafe. So, but the thing is that they are closed on Sundays, so on Saturday nights at 8 o'clock, all their pastries go half price. And let me tell you, people know that they're going to go half price, and the line was out the door just to get those pastries half price. So, but that was good. We had a good meal there. So that was one time, that was the first time eating out. Then on Sunday, my second youngest sister and my youngest sister, the three of us went out for breakfast at this cafe, this like breakfast cafe, and that was pretty good. I should tell you, at Kneaders I ordered a Reuben sandwich. At the breakfast cafe I ordered a Reuben sandwich. Then that night we went out to eat again, and those of us who were still there, because some people had already started to leave. We went to a Mexican restaurant that was like across the street from the cafe, and it was so nice to have servers that weren't wearing face diapers, and it was just so nice. I can't tell you how nice it was. And then the next day, which was Monday, I met up with a friend of mine who we are celebrating 50 years of friendship this year. And so we went to Kneaders again. I had another Reuben sandwich. I mean, I get Reubens so rarely that if I have a chance to get them, I do. And I don't like them when they're piled so high with corned beef that the sandwich is out of balance. You've got to have the balance of the rye bread and the sauerkraut and the Swiss cheese and the either pastrami or corned beef. The tradition is corned beef, but not everybody puts corned beef on there. Yeah, so these were actually nice and perfect and balanced all over the place. Now there's a place in California, in LA, although I don't know if they survived this last year, but yeah, they were one that just piled the corned beef so high. I mean, you had to disassemble your sandwich just to eat it. Anyhow, so after my friend and I had eaten, I went to the bakery counter and I ordered 12 chocolate chip cookies, and they were probably, yeah, they had to be at least as big, like 4.5, 5 inches across, and they were nice and flat. And I was gonna, and I took them back to California with me, plus a loaf of like cinnamon sugar bread. I don't know, this is a small loaf, so I have those in my carry-on, and I go through TSA. And they're like, you need to step aside. We got to look through this carry-on bag. So they were just a little surprised that, you know, I had so much bakery goods in my carry-on that I was bringing back to California. And I think Monday I finished the last of the cookies. I didn't eat them all. I gave some away. I gave the loaf of bread to the landlady. But, you know, when that carry-on went through the x-ray machine at TSA, they're like, what is this in this bag? So, yeah, it was a really good family time. We had lots of laughs, and we played a lot of Mexican Train, which is one of our favorite domino games. Well, that's the only domino game we play. And put together a lot of puzzles. My mother likes to put together puzzles. So yeah, there's just tons of puzzles there. Although she likes the 300-piece ones better than the larger ones. But a couple of, well, my two older sisters and I put together a 1,000-piece puzzle one afternoon. So, and they like to put together puzzles in kind of an interesting way, which is, don't worry about the border, just start putting together the pieces. The puzzle will tell you what it is. Yeah, that's the way my brother's wife puts them together, and they tried to adopt that, and I'm like, yeah, I like to put together the border. I'd like to see the picture. They were trying to even do it without even looking at the box or the pictures. I'm like, I gotta know where I'm going. I don't want the puzzle to tell me. Just show me. Let me look at the picture. So, my second oldest sister had bought this puzzle of Lionel trains. And I'm like, well, are we seeing the sides of the trains? Are we only seeing the front of the trains? I don't know what we're looking at. No idea. So, yeah, I took a few little peeks, but that didn't help because the box was on the floor and I had to kind of glance at it sideways. Anyhow, yeah, like I said, it was a really good time. And while I was in transit, like on the way, on the first leg of the trip, I started working on an amigurumi by Zabez, and this is not one of his patterns that I am testing. It is a pattern that I paid for, and quite frankly I haven't done anything with it since I came back. I'm pretty close to being done. I just have to do all the petals, but I can show you this picture. So it's an anthropomorphic poinsettia. Christmas Star Chris. So I'm just working on all these petals, which get sewn on after the I don't call it a hat, but anyways, after that part is made, then you sew on all those, and then you can see he has a little cape in the back. But you can download this pattern from Ravelry, which is where I think I got it. So anyhow, I'll show you what I have on him, which is this much. And then I have his little hat. Let me see if I can get his hat on his head. You know, these are, a lot of them are worked from like the feet up. And I tend to overstuff the head when it's done that way, whereas if I work from the head down on some of his patterns, I don't stuff the head as much. I don't know what the deal is. The last test pattern I made very sure not to stuff the head too much. Okay, let me see if I can get this on him. Okay, so this kind of, here's his little hat, and I just need to sew on all those leaves, which I still have to make. I made one. I have 14 more to make just for the hat, and then I have to make the ones for the cape. So anyhow, that's that. I just took along a bag of yarn specifically to make him, and there he is. So yeah, I need to finish working on him. So anyhow, I've been back in California for about 10 days. And no, I didn't cut my hair. It's just, it's wet, it's pinned back. It's hot as can be here. And this t-shirt was waiting for me when I got back. It says, if this flag offends you, move. And it's correct. So, I guess that's about it for this particular video, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye-bye.